Hello there makers, today I am here to do a sew along of a dressing gown. This is called the Norma jean wrap and it's from Wardrobe by Me. The pattern comes in 13 sizes from size 0 up to 24, so there's a really good size range and there's a lot of ease in the pattern, so it's a great one for beginners because you don't have to worry about fit too much. You can make this wrap in lots of different fabrics, so you could use our Minerva viscose challis, which would make a really nice pattern version. You can use a cotton lawn to get a light summer version, and today I'm challenging myself a little bit because I'm using a very light fabric. This is a Minerva core range fabric, which means it will be in stock for a long period of time, and it is a charmeuse silky satin. It's 100% polyester, so it's not a pure silk, but it acts in the same way. You can see it's quite a little bit sheer, so you can see me through it. It's got that sort of just a very low level sheen on the right side. On the wrong side, it's the same colour, so when you have your robe open, it won't look white inside. But it is slightly trickier to cut. If you want to challenge yourself and try some different fabrics and you want to try something silky like this charmeuse, then you might like to try cutting out after watching our slippery fabrics video. It's a little video that just trips you along with a few tips on how to cut out silky fabric. I've cut all my pieces out, so I am ready to sew. This is a beginner pattern, so you'll be able to make this quickly and easily. You can use an overlocker or you can use your sewing machine and use a zigzag for finishing the edges or an overcast stitch. The instructions come in a booklet. There's lots of pictures and illustrations, simple concise instructions and illustrations to show right side and wrong side of fabric, which is also really useful. The first part of the pattern is to construct the pockets. You could leave the pockets off, of course, but they're a really simple rectangle shape. Because of the silky satin that I'm using, then I'm doing some tacking because I'm making sure that the pocket doesn't move or go out of shape. Here's my pocket. I've tacked around the edges and across the top, and then I can sew all the way around, holding down the folded in edge. I'm using some sharps needles because that's good for this fine slippy fabric and it doesn't make the fabric run or shoot the threads. Use the markings from the pattern to make your pattern placement of the pocket in the correct position. And sew around 3 sides. Give it a final press. You can put on 2 pockets, 1 pocket, or make your own choice. This dressing gown features a casing across the back, centre back of the robe, so that your strap doesn't flop out or get lost. So your strap goes through a casing in the back of the dressing gown, a really nice feature. So that's the next part to attach to the robe. Take your strap piece and fold 1 centimetre in on each long end, and then take another centimetre on each short end. Sew across the 2 short ends. Next, look for the markings that you made when you cut the pattern piece and attach your back waist casing horizontally across your dressing gown and take 2 lines of stitching. Don't sew across the ends because that's where your belt's going to go inside. Now we're going to join the shoulder seams, so you're going to join those and finish the edges and press, but you're also going to do in this step a stay stitch around the neck edge of the dressing gown, because we need the neck band to fit onto the robe, and we don't want the material to stretch out where it's been cut across the grain here. Next we're going to apply the shoulders with right sides together. I'm just using a glue pen here just to hold the shoulder seams down. Just gives them a little bit of tack so that the weight of the slippy fabric doesn't slip the fabric away from where I'm trying to pin it. Pin the seams and sew and finish. You also need to stay stitch around the front neck edge, so that's along the fronts, around the neck and back down the other side. The edge bands are quite wide. You use a chart in the pattern book to find out the length that you need. So the pattern piece looks really small, but then you have to cut it to the right length, and that is going to be folded in half and joined together so that it acts as one piece of fabric, so that we can join that onto the neck and front edge of the robe. So here's the neckband piece. As you can see, it's small, but you need to lengthen it. And you use the chart from the book here on the second page to find your size and the length required. Sew the two short ends together to make one long neckband. This seam will be at the centre back. You can press that and fold it in half so that you've got two right sides showing on each side. That's the centre back seam. Use that centre back seam, place it at the back of the neck, and pin the hembands to the front raw edge all the way around. Match the raw edges, ready to sew. When you've added the neckband in this particular fabric, you can see it's a little bit wrinkly, but I'm going to press that out, and you'll definitely need to finish that inside edge, because that's the edge that will keep getting tied by the belt, and the edge that will get the most movement. There are two ways you can finish this once you've pressed it. Well, three actually. You can top stitch just next to the band. So you could run a top stitch just next to the band on the robe. You can do a stitch in the ditch if you want it to be invisible, or if you feel like if you've overlocked the inside, it's all sitting nicely and pressed, you can just leave it. So that's the main body complete. I'm just top stitching really slowly and quite carefully along my neckband. Throughout this project, I have been using a product that has helped me with this slippery fabric. And it is a temporary glue, and it's a spray glue, so I haven't been able to use it within the video because I need to use it in a ventilated area, but it's really useful if you've got a slippery fabric. So when I wanted to press this hemband, the neck hemband in half, and make sure that I could attach it to the front of the dressing gown, it was slipping all over the place. I couldn't get the raw edges even, so I gave it a really light spray of the adhesive spray, folded it in half and pressed it, and then I was able to manipulate it on the dressing gown without having to have that pinned and pin it to the edge of the dressing gown. So if you're really struggling with a fabric, you saw that I used the little temporary glue pen on the shoulder seams. Well, a spray glue also works in areas that are enclosed. I also used it to get my pocket placement. So trying to put that pocket in a place that meant it was still square when I put it on. A little bit of glue left in there, but it's temporary, so when I wash this garment before I wear it, it will go. And I also used the temporary glue to place the casing on the back. It was very difficult to get that pinned on straight without it sort of rippling and slipping. So this worked a treat. But you do have to use this in a ventilated area. It is a glue, so you shake it and you spray it on very, very lightly. It comes out quite thick if you're not careful. So use it somewhere where there's plenty of fresh air and you're not getting glue on any other surfaces that you don't want it to be on. Step 7 is to attach the sleeves. So you attach those flat and then you can sew up the side seam and the sleeve seam at the same time. Next, with right sides together, put the top of the sleeve along the sleeve opening. You can match the centre first and then both sides. Ease in the fabric and use plenty of pins. This is now ready to sew. Once you've got both sleeves attached, you can then join the underarm and the cuff. Ease the fabric in along the sleeve seam. And then match up the two side seams. You're going to take a seam line that goes all the way along, so just make sure that you're not going to catch the end of the back belt casing. There needs to be space for that to move freely. So from the cuff, along the arm and then down to the hem. Step 9 is to hem your sleeve seams, so make sure that you get the finish that you want there. You can use an overlocker, you can use a double folded hem, you can use a blind hem stitch. There's lots of different hem techniques that you can use there, so choose one that suits your fabric. I've done quite a narrow hem on this. I've pinned it up and I've taken the front piece off my machine so that I can sew in a circle. There's my sleeve cuff seam finished, really neat and smart, and I've given that a press. Step 10 is to make the belt, so make sure that you've left a turning hole so that you can pull the tabs through. When you've got pointed ends on a belt, when you've got a shaped end, you need to leave your turning gap in the centre of the belt. If you leave it at the end, it's really hard then to try and turn under the pointed edge. So you need those to be sewn on the machine and leave the gap in the centre of the belt. So you're going to fold the belt piece in half, right sides together, and pin along the long edge. Take a bit of care to match up the point at the end. And then you need to leave a space open so that you can turn your belt loop out. And then you're going to pin the other end. I love using my Prim tube turners. It's a really quick way to turn out a tube. You insert the plastic tube and then use the stick to push the fabric through the tube, and with shiny slippy fabric it moves really easily along the tube. And then you can use the point on the end of the stick to work out the corners. I'm going to do the same for the other end. That's a longer end here. And then when you've finished your belt, you can close up the seam on the outside. It also needs a really good press. The belt goes into the back of the robe, so I've got a safety pin on the end. I'm going to thread the belt through the casing. Here's the belt. It's completely secure, it won't get lost. And the belt comes out near the side seam there by the pocket. Lastly, you need to hem your gown. So you can do a 1 centimetre fold and then a 2.5 centimetre hem if you want a deep hem. Because I'm working with this charmeuse fabric, I'm just doing a narrow hem along there. I'm going to do that all the way along. So this is the wrap finished. You can see a few things that are challenging about working with this fabric. So it's really soft and drapey, and it does give an overall really luxurious feel. But you can see on this side here, I had the tension of my machine a little bit too tight, but I reduced the number here. So I went down to stitch tension 3 and I got a much better finish. So it's a really good idea to test your piece of fabric that you get on a machine if you've got something a little bit different. The tie is nice and smooth, and it runs through this brilliant design feature on the back, which is the casing, which holds all of the belt in place, and that's a really nice feature on a dressing gown. I've just popped one pocket on there because I was just showing you how to do the pocket feature, but you could have 2 or you could have a breast pocket. So that's the Norma Jean wrap by Wardrobe by Me, and this is a charmeuse satin. You can make this out of a cotton lawn and you'll get a much easier sew. You can try one of our viscose chalets. So this is a bloom version, which will be listed below, but there's loads and loads of prints there. You can really choose something quite interesting. You can go for a contrasting border and belt, and you can really mix it up a little bit. I did quite a narrow hem on this fabric, but again, you could turn that back and make it 3/4 if you want to. And this is quite a short wrap, but you could also make it full length. I hope that's shown you a couple of things. Maybe that a robe is a beginner project, so it's an easy thing to make. Also, what the instructions are like on a Wardrobe by Me pattern, because there's lots of different indie companies and patterns to choose from. And it's sometimes quite nice just to get a little look inside the instructions. We would love to see what you've been making, so whether that's loungewear, things for every day or things for your home. So do make an account with us, share your make so you can take some photographs, give a little description, show us what you've chosen, what pattern you've paired with what fabric. We always love to see what people have been up to. Thank you very much for watching. See you again soon.